Hi there, I'm Jennifer with Sublimely Align, and today's whole body alignment teaser, I should say teasers, are hanging prep and pull-up prep. So these are for those of you that have never done any type of hanging or hanging prep or pull-up prep, or if you've had limited instructions around this activity. I am going to talk about the benefits of hanging on the back end after we've hung, but we're just going to dive right in. And so for your hanging and your pull-up prep, you're just going to need a door frame. So go ahead and grab the door frame at shoulder height with a firm grip. And then you just want to check into a couple parameters. So I'm going to recommend that you start quite vertical to the ground with your body. You want a neutral upper arm bone, a neutral arm bone, and you can find this by looking at the elbow pit and make sure it's facing up. So there is going to be a tendency in a lot of you to rotate that arm bone in. And you're going to try and keep it in neutral. You're going to start with a fairly straight arm, maybe just a micro bend in that elbow. And you're going to rotate the trunk towards the door frame. And just notice how this widens the scapula, we often call it the shoulder blade, away from the spine. And that's what we want to do here. And then you want to try and keep that and just hang the weight of the body from the hand. So you may notice that the weak link in the beginning is the hand and or the tension in the forearms, the hand strength or the forearm tension, and that's fine. Once you've identified that, you can work on that, and this is working you sort of out of those tension patterns, so it's great. The other thing that's great about the door frame is that you can slide the hand up and hang from a different angle. So the pectoralis muscle is a fairly big muscle at the chest, and it fans out. And so you can actually reach different fibers by having the hand at a different altitude on the door frame, and just notice what feels great for you. The other thing you can do is you can grab with both hands. So I don't have a door frame on this side, but you probably do. You can grab at both door frame, center the body. Make sure you're not lifting the rib cage here, so find a neutral rib cage. And then just hang the weight of the body here. You can even hang your head. Won't keep hanging my head or you won't be able to hear me. And you can add a little bit of movement too, whatever feels good. And again, you can move the arms up the wall, up the frame, to see how it feels and to make it a little more, or to create more load, I should say. You can walk the feet closer to the door frame. So that is your hanging prep, and a lot of options there. And then the pull-up prep are the same parameters for hanging prep, but you're just going to bend the elbow to bring your trunk closer to the door frame. So when your feet are under you, there's less load, and it will make it a little bit easier. So that's maybe where you want to start. But as you bring your feet closer to the door frame, you can really start to add more load. Or you can look for things outside that you could sort of hang from, a tree branch, a tree. And this is a great appropriate strength builder for the upper body. So hanging is wonderful because typically in the traditional sense, we take a weight in our hand. It's often arbitrary in the sense that it has nothing to do with our body weight or what we need to do in the day. We just grab a weight and we might bring it towards our shoulders like this for a bicep curl. And there's two things there. So one is it's sort of an arbitrary weight, but the second thing is we're going from a long muscle to a short muscle. And we do that very often in our strength training regime. We may be using sort of our kids' weight, so a little more appropriate weight, and bringing it towards us, but the same type of mechanism, same type of mechanics for the muscle. Whereas a hang is different because you've got the hand, you're demanding more of the hand and the forearm tissues, and you're actually working with your body weight. So you're building strength appropriate to your body weight and to actually holding your own body weight. And this is what we call a tensile load to the tissues. So you're doing it differently. The tissues are long, and in the case of a hanging prep, and they're staying long, so they're stabilizing and long. So really great addition to your movement practice. Give it a try, maybe 2 to 3 times a day, especially if you're a computer user. And let me know how it goes.